हे कृपा सिंधु अनंत रूप अनंत नाम आदिमूला नारायण अनंत रूप अनंत नाम आदिमूला नारायण गुरु कृपा अंजन पायो मेरे भाई राम बिना कछु देखत नाही कृपा अंजन पायो मेरे भाई राम बिना कछु देखत नाही कृपा अंदर राम बाहर राम अंदर राम बाहर राम जहाँ देखो सो राम ही राम जहाँ देखो सो राम ही राम जहाँ देखो सो राम ही राम कृपा अंजन पायो मेरे भाई
ಬೇಡ ಬೇಡ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः After the 314th Doha, जिनकर नाम लेत जग माही, सकल अमंगल मूल नसाही। करतल हो ही पदार्थ चारी, तेई सिय राम कहेउ कामारी। यही विधि शंभु सुरन समझावा, पुनि आगे बर बसह चलावा। Now, the gods were discussing, and they were like, how could this be that such amazing wonders have been assembled, that even I could not envision such things prior to this. This is an amazing wonder. There Lord Shiva says, don't be lost, don't be consumed by all this wonder. Calmly count the blessings that we have, because this is the wedding of our Ramji and Sitaji. Now, who is this Ramji and Sitaji? Siya Ram Kaheu, just by uttering Ram and Siya Ram, Sita Ram. जिन कर नाम लेत जग माही, सकल अमंगल मूल नसाही. Just by uttering Bhagwan Ramchandra ji's name along with Sita ji, what does it do? Sakala amangala moola nasahi. What is the amangala? A cat crossing your path. A black cat crossing your path. Poor cat, for it is amangala. That it has to cross our path. We have different definitions of amangala. So I'm trying to look into the moola. Just as you are walking out of the house, somebody sneezed. Amangala. Just as you are doing the arati, because of the winds or the vent, suddenly the arati bhuj gaya. Amangala. These are not amangala as much as the amangala, which is the moola amangala. What is the moola amangala? Our ajnana of our true nature. There is nothing more moola amangala than that. Now that he sneezed, I have to stop. Amangala. Narayana. Sakala moola amangala. That which is the amangala, the moola of all amangala. Wrong identity in itself is the greatest amangala. Greatest sin. Just by chanting the name of Siyarama, Sakala Amangala Moola Nasahi. And we have our Ratnakara as the vivid proof for that. That he just chanted the name of the Lord and he became so pure that the Rama Tattva was realized by him. In fact, Shivaji's guru, Samartha Ramadas ji, he says that if we spend 12 years, he gives you the time and he has like formalized it. He says, in these 12 years, if you can chant 13 crore times Rama mantra, his prescription was Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, which is empowered between two Oms. And there is a abhanga or there is a little prose by him on that. That you chant this 13 crore times within 12 years. Meaning what? If you have to chant 13 crore times, first time we heard in the Vedanta course, we all sat down to calculate how many number of times do we have to chant per day. It practically means that a solid 8 to 9 hours per day that you are chanting that Nama mantra. And when you end up chanting this Nama mantra, he says that Rama Tattva, when I say Tattva, it is the Tattva Vichara. It is the Tattva, not Vichara, Tattva Anubhava, which happens. That the mind gets so purified and stilled that it gets absorbed into the Tattva itself. Karatala ho hi padartha chari. What is the padartha? Four padartha. Purushartha. Chaturvida Purushartha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, and then Moksha. Now, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, these four are, if you look at it, that all of us flow in Artha and Kama. But our rishis have given that in within the banks of Dharma and Moksha. That Artha which is not raised from Dharma for Dharma is not Artha itself. That means whatever we earn, whatever we acquire, it has to be Dharmika. And it has to be spent on Dharmika Tattva only. And the Kama should be geared towards Moksha. All the Kama that we have should be encouraged and should be participated in if it is leading us towards Moksha. These four Chaturvidha, Purushartha, those who just chant the name of the Lord. Karatala hohi. Karatala, kara means hand. Tala on the top of it. It is like on your fingertips. Like if you were to translate that Karatala into English, it is on your fingertips. Te isiya Ramu kahevu kamari. Ari. Ari Shatru. Sometimes we hear people say, Swamiji, Ari Om. Om to the Ari, the Shatru in you. It is not Ari Om, it is Hari Om. Meaning changes. Ari means Shatru. Siya Ram kahev kamari. Those who chant the name of the Lord, the unnecessary extrovertedness of kama and indulgences in that is automatically diluted, removed, destroyed one by one. Diluted, then one by one they get insignificant and then they get destroyed. यही विधि शंभु सुर न समझावा, पुनि आगे बर बसह चलावा. This way, Lord Shiva gave all the uh, devas his peace of mind, and then he proceeded on his Vahana, Nandi. That you are here with a special significance. Don't get lost in the unnecessaries. Focus on that which is necessity. Now, continuing. देवन देखे दशरथ जाता, महामोद मन पुलकित गाता. साधु समाज संग मही देवा, जनु तनु धरे करहि सुख सेवा. सोहत सात सुभग सुतचारी, जनु अपवर्ग सकल तनुधारी. देवन देखे दशरथु जाता, महामोद मन पुलकित गाता. They saw Dasarath ji. How was he? Mahamoda. Very, very happy. Moda, the one who is happy. Happiness. The one who gives us that happiness, we call him as Mudakara. Remember? Lord Ganesha, we chant Mudakararthamodakam. That it is not an empty promise. He is Mudakara, Modakam. That Modaka is the symbolic significance that he is ready to give us that Moda. Anyway, Mahamoda Mana Pulakita Gata. He is actually ecstatic. He is ecstatic that this is a very beautiful opportunity, occasion. Along with him, Sadhu Samaja Sangha Mahideva. See, wherever there is respect and love, in fact, Gurudev says, wherever there is love and respect, it is reverence. For Sadhu Samaja, those who are noble-hearted, Satpurusha, and Mahideva. Mahideva, one meaning of Mahideva or Mahipati is the king. But when the king refers to Mahideva, it is that to who even the kings are worshipful towards. They are the Brahmana, Brahmanottama. Constantly in the Veda Patha, Veda Adhyaya, and he was there with them as well. Janu tanu dhare karahi sukha seva. And now all these people who were there, they were doing all kinds of seva. Sohat sat subhag sutachari. Along with him, there were his 4 sons. Now, when you have somebody like Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, your chati is with pride, with ananda, and he was like putting his arms around 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and walking. And there was Sadhu Samaj, and then there were these Brahmana. It was a scene to be seen. Janu apvarga sakala tanudhari. Now, seeing this four, I said, apavarga, all four kinds of sins are removed. I'm trying to remember what are the four sins. Actually, there are five. Pavarga means pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. So, pavarga means the papa, then the entanglement with phala, karma phala, ba, bandha, then bha, bhaya, and ma, moha. So, these are the five pavarga. Apavarga, apavarga, the one who removes all these five. What an amazing statement. Apavarga pradobhava. Lord, may you remove these five. Papa, karma phala, bandha, bhaya, and moha. So may you remove all these five. Sakala tanudhari. All those who were around, they were accompanying, seeing this. Just by seeing these four, they were removed from their apavarga. Now continuing. मरकत कनक बरन बर जोरी देखि सुरन भय प्रीति न थोरी पुनि राम ही बिलो की हर्षे नृपहि सराहि सुमन तन बरसे. The Surana, the Devas, they were looking at this once in a lifetime kind of a opportunity to see Ramji and with his brothers and fully decked. How was it? He was like the Marakata Kanaka Barana. Marakata is emerald. So the emerald hue and the golden hue mixed together. Now, who is gold and who is emerald? There were two pairs here. Rama Lakshmana, Bharata Shatrughna. One was, it's a black and white copy. One was dark shade, handsome and amazing to look at. The other one was golden hue. And the dark one actually shines more if there is a backdrop of the gold. So these devas who were watching all this, they were so ecstatic. And in their ecstasy, what can they do from there? When we get really happy or we really get excited, we say, wow. And then, probably clap our hands. From the heavens when they're watching it, they must have clapped, they must have said, wow. Along with that, they had this flowers. And they must have had huge, uh, huge, what do you call, huge baskets and collection of flowers, because they've been showering flowers every now and then. So they keep, showering those flowers on Ramchandraji, raining it down all the way from the heavens. Now here, Tulsidas ji takes into description of different things of that barat, as to how beautiful that barat is. राम रूप नखशिख सुभग बारहि बार निहारी पुलक गात लोचन सजल उमा समेत पुरारी. Uma Sameta Purari. Actually, it is a shortcut or a shortened version of Tripurari. Now, Tripurari became Purari. The Tripuras, which was destroyed by Lord Shiva, therefore, he got the name of Tripurari. Uma Sameta. Uma Sameta, the one who is himself so capable, was with his wife or consort, Umaji. Now, what were they doing? They were Rama Rupa Nakha Sikha, Nakha Sikha from toe to head. This is the key for Saguna Sakara Dhyana or Upasana. In fact, when Arati is done, in fact, even going one step prior to that, is all the Devalayas are usually dark in the sanctum sanctorum. They were not this well lit for a purpose, so that the distractions are minimal. Now you may say, what distractions? You can't even see anything. So there are these lamps, and the lamps are hanging from the ceiling just to that height wherein you can see clearly the face. And after the uh, the alankara, archana, and everything is done, then when the priest takes the arati thali and then to the right hand, then to the face, then to the left hand, then to the feet, and then show the entire murti, entire vigraha of that Lord. The devotees are requested that after you have seen, after you have done your pradakshina, go outside and sit for couple of moments, not to destroy the sanctity and beauty of that temple by distributing prasada and throwing the leftovers all over the place. But that 2 minutes that you sit there is supposed to recollect, remember, and instill that form that you have seen in the sanctum sanctorum in your heart. That is the main purpose. And how do you do that? Nakha Sikha Rama Rupa Subhaga Barahi Bara Nihari. So you see that beautiful form from head to toe or toe to head. Toe to head because you finally stop at the beautiful Mukhara Vinda and then get absorbed in that beautiful presence of the Lord. And when we are thus visualizing it internally, visualize it not as a murti, not as a stone carving or a photo, but as if it is enlivened. Many of you carry your family photo, or nowadays not in a wallet, but at least in your cell phones or wherever, screensavers. When you see your loved ones, when you see the photo and you remember them in your mind, are you seeing them as a photo, or are you seeing them as enlivened beings in all colors and majesty? Don't we see them as enlivened? Similarly, the dhyana is of that enlivened form of the Lord, that you start from the feet And if I say just the feet, if you can visualize, मन तो वहीं पर रुक जाए. That there is that darker hue of the skin, and then the pada, the feet, I have that pinkish radiance, and there is that merger of that pinkish with the darker shade. So there is a very amazing shade color change there. And then on that feet there are the abhushana, and very gentle looking. Here, wherever that feet are described, it is described as the lotus. See, the lotus also, the outside color is dark, but the inside petal is bright pink color, and that merger is beautiful. So that lotus like feet that you observe, and then you slowly move towards the other limbs of the form of the Lord. And then finally, you see those beautiful eyes. You see the beautiful smile of the Lord. The gaze of the Lord is directly on you. And with that, bara hi bara, you are so content with that beautiful form of the Lord within your heart that there is nothing else distracting, nothing else demanding the attention, that it is soaked in the presence of that Lord. And once that presence is established, the connection is established, all that you can do is pulaka gata lochana sajala, that your throat does not have the capacity to speak further. Your eyes are all becoming moist. And this is not some kind of a crying, but it is the Ananda Bhashpa, the joyous tears that flow in having the ability to see that form of the Lord. Both Umaji and Lord Shiva were in trance looking at this beautiful form of the Lord, which is further described. केकी कंठ दुति श्यामल अंगा तड़ित बिनंदक वसन सुरंगा ब्याह विभूषण विविध बनाए मंगल सब सब भांति सुहाये शरद विमल विदु बदन सुहावन नयन नवल राजीवल जावन. Here, the Lord is described. How is the hue of that, His presence? I said, like the peacock's neck. Now I have to describe peacock for you. Rest of the body has multiple colors. Rest of the feathers have these multiple colors. But the kantha has this light dark blue. I don't know how else to describe it. It is the brightness of the dark blue removed, and it is light, but it is dark blue. So his form had this beautiful peacock neck color, while his clothes that he was wearing, how are the clothes? Tadita binindaka basana suranga. His bright yellow clothes were like binindaka, belittling the lightning. The pitambara that he was wearing was that bright and brilliant color that everything in front of it seemed very pika pika, that even the lightning would lose its charm. At least in Dallas, I have seen amazing lightning spectrum. It starts on one horizon, one end of the horizon, and then it is like a Lord lighting up the entire horizon from one end to the other. For many nature photographers, that is like the uh, dream come true to capture that whole spectrum as it is happening, because it is so enticing. Even such lightning would fall short in the brightness of the clothes of the Lord that the Lord was wearing. And then it says that he was wearing vividha, different kinds of ornaments, which are vyaha vibhushan, sab mangala, sab bhanti suhaye. How are these ornaments? These ornaments were like very auspicious. So from head to toe, he was covered with different kinds of ornaments. I'm not saying like these days. I have seen in the Malayali wedding that the poor girl is decked head to toe with gold, 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 gold. No, we are not talking about gaudy, obnoxious. Uh, it, it, it doesn't seem right. But here he is delicately ordained, delicately covered with these ornaments. So there must be a, a I don't know how to call it. On the feet, they wear a thick golden. It's not an anklet. Anklet becomes like chal payal jaise. No, it's not payal. It is very masculine in looking. And then on the kati there is a belt, and probably there is also a sword hanging from that belt. Then there is one or two garlands, and behind the garlands there is this beautiful manimala, and they're all embellished in the gold. Then there is the rings, and then the wristband, not made out of this rubber band thing, very elegantly made. And then there is armlets. Then there is the bhuja bhushana, which is on the top of the shoulders. If you see it, it has a little crown like a structure to it. And then the kundala, and then there is the mukuta. I'm guessing, this is my imagination, that for a wedding, it is the mukuta which is made of different colorful clothes wrapped. जैसे पगड़ी बांधते हैं ना. So that must have been the case here. So he was looking beautiful. Sarada Bimala Bidu Badana Suhavan Nayana Navala Rajivala Javan. How was this whole presence? It was as if the moon in a cloudless autumn night. Yesterday, did you see the moon? It was looking so beautiful. There are a couple of moons that are described like that. When you describe Bhagavan Sri Krishna, they say Sharada Purnima. It's bright, glowing. You don't need a flashlight on that night. Now, here, in that entire space of cloudless thing, there is one bright light shining. That is how, in the space of all these people, Bhagavan Ramchandraji was standing out, dazzling. It is so beautiful that, looking at his eyes, that even the uh, lotus will feel shy in front of those eyes. Have we done? सकल अलौकिक सुंदरताई, कहीं न जाई मन ही मन भाई, बंधु मनोहर सोहहि संगा, जात न चावत चपल तुरंगा, कु राजकुंवर बर बाजी दिखावहीं, वंश प्रशंसक बिरदि सुनावहीं, जहि तुरंग पर आम बिराजे, गति बिलोक खगनायक लाजे, कही न जाई सब भांति सुहावा, बाजी विषय जनु काम बनावा. Now, Tulsidas ji, once he goes into description, it is one Atisayokti after Atisayokti after Atisayokti. Atisayokti is exaggeration. Maybe here it was not an exaggeration. Now, with this captivating, beautiful presence, there were his brothers also who were equally shining. Who rode, all of them rode, they were riding beautiful horses. Now, as these people were coming on their horses, there were these, what do you call them? There are these people who sing the glory of that family, glory of the individual. Are they called bards? Yeah. So the bards were singing, probably, I would assume, in a very folklorish tone. Like what the Harikathakars, and I remember from the southern India, the folk tune for that is, it starts with Tandana, 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 Deva Tandana. And everything that they sing and glorify is in that tone and tune. So probably they were also singing these beautiful glories of the lineage of this Vamsha. Looking at the horses, Khaganayak, who is the Khaganayaka? We talk of Khaganayaka. In today's world, they talk about Khalanayaka. Khaganayaka is the Garudaji. Of all the birds, Bhagavan says in the 10th chapter that he is the Garuda. So Khaganayaka. He was feeling a little shy that I don't have the elegance of these horses. Look at the way that they are royally walking. The stride. मेरा क्या है, पंख बसारता हूँ और उड़ता रहता हूँ. I keep flying, but look at the grace with which these, the not the elephants, the horses were walking. It was a very charming thing to look at. It seemed as if that Baji Beshu Janu Kama Banawa, that Kamadev himself to participate in this beautiful wedding took the form of the uh, horse, that it was looking that elegant. ए भैया छंद पढ़ो. बनाई मन से जो राम हित अति सोहई, अपने भय बल रूप गुणगत सकल भुवन विमोहई, जगमत राव ज्योति मणि मानिक लगे, इंकिनी ललाम लगाम ललित बिलोक सुर नर मुनि ठगे. This chanda is describing only the horse. Sant Goswami Tulsidas ji has not spared even an ounce of imagination in capturing that beautiful moment. See, as like you, I am also eager for that wedding to come. Okay. But then there are so many details that, when somebody is capturing it in a chronicle, they need to look into all those details. So here he is describing the horse. The Kamadeva himself must have appeared in this form of the horse for the sake of Bhagwan Ramchandra ji to be at his service. How was it? It was a fascinating beast. Probably this is where the new age American vocabulary has gotten, that when somebody has done something amazing, they say, what is it? You're a beast. Meaning you are looking very powerful, overpowering. Baya bala rupa guna gati sakala bhuvana vimohahi. Its youthfulness, its vigor, amazing form, all the three worlds are captured by its beauty. Now, how is the saddle? The saddle is decked with jewels. It is not that some jewels were put on the saddle, but it was carved so beautifully, and it was anointed with gold, and in that gold there were money, there were pearls. With the description, it says that it was set with pearls, gems, rubies. Imagine what a combination. That white shining pearls surrounded by rubies, connected with pearls again. Can you imagine? Red and white combination. And then at the end of the saddle, at the where the लगाम को इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हैं? The reins. At the end of the reins, at the feet, there were these small bells that were tied. So every stride that it would take, that there would be a rhythm of these bells, as if there was this somebody ringing bells, so you could hear those bells. Now, lalam lagamu lalita biloki sura nara muni thage. Sura nara muni, all of them, the gods, the sages, the men that were there, they were completely absorbed in the beauty of this horse that Bhagwan Sri Ramchandra ji was riding. प्रभु मन सही लयली न मनु चलत बाजी छवि पाव भूषित उड़गन तड़ित धनु जनु बर बर ही न चाव. This Doha, this Doha is also describing that horse, as if the horse was in attunement with Lord's will. That when the Lord would look at one direction, the horse would also gaze at them. And then, what's up? This beautiful horse, studded with all these, Manimala and Ratnamala, it was looking as if a cloud which was studded with the stars moving delightfully at the will of the wind without any resistance. That is how beautiful this horse was moving. Now this Bharata is another aspect of this Bharata is being described. That we will see next week. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Next week, I'll be back. I should be back. I'll directly come from Arkansas for the class.